Hey, everybody. I am Harry Kerbo, the Senior Director of Paid Social here at CINC. And you are officially on Office Hours, episode 12. Look how far we've come. They said it wouldn't be possible. If you are looking for Office Hours 13, you're in the wrong classroom. Please refer to your course syllabus to find the correct place. And I am joined, of course, as always. We'll go ahead and do some introductions as people are getting in. And I'm sure James will say, so I'm going to steal his thunder. Let us know where you're joining from. James is going to paste Atlanta, that I'm sure he probably already has it in there. But I am joined, as always, by James Terry, the Senior Director of Paid Search. So my counterpart on the client marketing team, the yin to my yang. And, of course, the most handsome man on the internet, and he gets handsomer each day we get closer to my year-end review. How does he do it? The Vice President of Client Marketing, Dan Lott.
Hello.
Dan, do you want to say your sentence? I understand you have a sentence that you would
I have a bunch of. I have a sentence and then a couple stories.
Should we have time for your sentence? Do you want to do your sentence now, or do you want to do that later?
I'll do my sentence now.
Let's do
because we're starting this the webinar / podcast, and over the last
live cast, Dan.
Is what? What's that?
It's called a live cast.
Okay, it's a live cast.
Yeah.
And so I was laid up over the last couple of weeks, and so I was lying in bed watching our podcasts on the TV, and I noticed that there's some. I had some notes. Specifically, we don't really say what CINC is ever. So it just leaves it kind of like, oh, the suspension. What are these guys talking about? I have no idea what field, what realm they're in. So CINC is the leader in online real estate lead generation. We have more than 3,000 clients. The CINC client marketing team, of which Harry, I, and James are part of, manage almost $30 million in search and social advertising spend annually. So now you know who we are. If you, I don't know why you would listen to it if you had no idea what kind of business we were in, but now you know.
What does CINC stand for, Dan? How do you spell CINC?
Most leads for the highest quality leads. No, CINC. That's funny. CINC. Look at Harry's shirt. We make it actually, the company started out as Commissions Inc. And you can.
It's a contraction.
It's a contraction of Commissions Inc. shortened into CINC. It's not SYNC, which other people say, or SINK. It is CINC.
Nor is it the bank in Mexico.
What's that?
CINC Systems or the HOA software system.
Yeah, there's.
Yeah.
So if you guys are looking for anything, really, just Google CINC. Like, go into any search engine and just type in CINC, and you will find HOA, podcast, real estate, banking in Mexico. Well, that was a powerful sentence, Dan. Thank you.
Thank you. So people know what it is now.
I think we should probably introduce our guest.
Okay.
For sure. And I jumped in. I stole this from Harry. He took his hands off of this and allowed me to do a quick promotion for our guest and just kind of introduce her.
That's what great leaders do, James. What great leaders
My hero.
do. I'm giving you a chance to fly. Fly, baby bird.
His annual review's coming right up. But yeah, I asked if I could just promote our guest speaker, tell everybody who they're going to be hearing from, why we asked her to come on and share with everybody, and so that everyone knows the value that she's going to bring to this conversation. So Kristine Dunn has been with CINC since November 2021. She is an amazing example of a success-focused mindset and specializes in motivation and conversations. In the 4 years that she's been here, she has hosted and co-hosted virtual conversion sessions aimed at changing habits and perspective. So currently, Kristine hosts the Dialed In podcast every other Monday at 3 p.m. And actually, some of you guys might be here today because of the plug she gave us earlier this week. If so, welcome out. Glad you were able to join us. Do you want to say hello? Did I leave anything out?
No, I think that was really great, actually. Can I get a copy of that for later?
Yeah, all right. Like, that was great work.
Yeah, that was super all-encompassing. I loved it. And so thank you. And Chelsea, if you're listening to this, thank you for that last line. I am obsessed with health, wellness, all the things. I'll just throw in there that I'm a professional bodybuilder in the bikini division. So that's a fun fact.
All right.
I don't think I shared. So yeah.
As is Harry.
I used to compete in the bikini division, but the mustache ended those days for me. And you just got to choose what's your priority, right?
Is there
Yeah.
a One Piece division? Is that what you're doing now?
I'm trying to get to the One Piece division. Yeah. I'm actually, you know that episode of I Love Lucy where they go to the beach and
No.
Fred and Ethel wear those long.
Oh,
Oh, I was thinking it was more like the one that Borat wears. Like that's the one
Ooh.
I was thinking.
I want to progress to that. I'm not there yet. I've got to get this. I've got to get some number of pack first. I've got a keg going on.
Fair
But we
enough.
can talk about that. That'll be on Dan's podcast a lot.
That's that's a spinoff.
Oh, that's right. I almost forgot. I was going to go into questions, but Dan. Oh,
I
we
have
should go
two
to
things I
questions.
want to talk about
Okay,
prior to questions. We have a lot of questions. Actually, people want
We
to talk to
do.
Kristine more
that's
than they want to
great.
talk about
So
us.
let's
Talk
use
to us.
this time to make them listen to us.
All right. So a couple things I wanted to say, house cleaning items, if you will. The first thing, it's December. I'm wearing my holiday shirt. So that you can tell, I only wear it in December. And
All of December, though, it smells terrible by
yeah,
January.
true.
With all the lumber
So anyway, so one of the things about lead generation is that there is a lot of seasonality, and so December generally has the worst cost per lead, the highest cost per lead. It goes first quarter is the best, second quarter is the second best, third quarter is the third best, fourth quarter is the fourth best, also known as the worst. So keep in mind that December has the worst lead flow, but next month it's going to pick right back up. It's going to generally get maybe 25% more leads in January versus December. So if that's one of the things you were worried about, you're like, oh, I haven't gotten as many leads, it's going to pick up and it'll be great. So that's just one of the things that happens every month or every year. Actually, we made some changes to the site last month, which caused November to do better than October, which doesn't usually happen. But we're doing pretty well there. So, but next year we will hit it hard. And then the other
Hang
thing
on one second. I did see Richard Moss said his lead flow's been lower or unacceptable this year. So Richard, I believe we have talked before, but I'll definitely put in another case for your client marketing manager to take a look and reach out to you on that. Or if you have more questions today, like feel free to ask those. But I do want to say to the seasonality on social specifically, it always jumps up around Black Friday and Christmas. There's a lot of new spenders and a lot of existing spenders spending more around those times. But it was really weird this year. Similar to Google, September was worse than, or maybe it was October. October was worse than November, which is strange. So, I don't know what that means. But I mean, the lead flow literally picks up on December 26th, right? When Christmas is over. So.
Like literally, it's a big jump. It's noticeable. It's very exciting seeing these numbers jump up a lot. So, and it happens on the 26th, and then the 1st is also another big day, January 1st.
Oh, someone just used my term. Joseph. Yes. Joseph said that the account Ram, yes. So there is a difference.
Don't encourage him.
I do like that, Joseph, and I like you. I like the cut of your jib, Joseph. So client marketing manager, so you have an account manager, which is, your touch point for support, really anything. Client marketing manager is generally what everyone in our department would be called. We are the client marketing team. Within that, we have on the search side, we have people that handle all the new accounts, all the launches. After you have launched and been live for a certain time, you're given over to your RAM, your regional account manager, who is a specialist in that area to manage your account. But this will definitely be clipped. This is going on social media. Joseph said RAM.
All right. And then the next point, which is going to, I think, segue into some other conversations, is one of the initiatives we have for 2026 is going to be focusing on lead quality as opposed to lead quantity. It's really easy to focus on quantity because it's more metrics based. So we're trying to gather sales metrics so we can see what are the leads that generate sales, a house sale. And so one of the ones, and then one of the other things we talk about every month, we always talk about hyperlocal micro-targeting, which means that we drill down within like your city into neighborhoods and then also into various niches of like condos or luxury homes or however, there's like 80 of these niches. So one of the sales that just came through, I guess it was a month ago, that caught my eye, which I thought was really interesting, was in Kristine's neck of the woods down in Naples. I don't think she was the salesperson on this, so she should have been maybe getting more leads. But anyway, so it was an example of
Different city.
Is it Tiburon? Does that ring a bell?
Well, Tiburon is a community in Naples.
Exactly. So Tiburon is not a city. So
well, it could be, but I don't know what you're talking about. We do have a community
no one does.
called Tiburon though.
No, it is. Well, technically, it's not a city according to the MLS. MLS does not consider it a city.
All right.
So we created this ad group by drilling down from Naples into a city, and then it was the person's searched for Tiburon MLS, and which led them to a ad group focused on Tiburon MLS. It wasn't a Tiburon. It wasn't Tiburon house or condos. It was Tiburon MLS. And because of that, just in October 7th, they did that. They closed on a $2.2 million house exactly a month later. So that happened because of hyperlocal micro-targeting. If we did not have an MLS ad group, if we just had a regular Tiburon or a regular Naples, they would not have found that client. So anyway,
awesome.
that leads into our initiative of next year. So we're gonna try to focus on what exactly are driving the sales, and I think a lot of these are neighborhoods or communities or whatever. So anyway, that's our initiative for next year. So stay tuned on that.
Well, that's an important differentiator for CINC. Just the the ability to really look into everything, understand the full pipeline, and then just the ability from the automation of being able to create all those ad groups that really just aren't feasible for a competitor that doesn't have the automation. So, I always say
a typical campaign or typical account will have 200 ad groups, and we use automation to create them. Tools, they don't create themselves. We create them, but we have tools. If we didn't have these tools that we've developed over a dozen years, it wouldn't be feasible to create them. So we wouldn't have gotten that lead had we not had these tools.
All right.
And I'm particularly excited about this this initiative. Obviously, lead quality is something we talk about a lot, and it's something we've focused on a lot. And the last time we really focused in and on lead quality specifically, what came from that was our real verified leads and the two-factor authentication and like confirmation that this phone number in the dashboard actually belonged to that person, which we saw an uplift of lead generation. The cost per lead was improved by that. People who put in fake numbers and then saw the two-factor changed their phone number to be real verified. So like people who would have otherwise given bad quality information. So every time we focus on this, the difference now being we have obviously so much AI analysis to go through all of this and dig in, like Dan's talking about, towards what is bringing in that quality, what do we need to focus on, and we can really strategize around it. So I really look forward to what comes out of 2026 based on this.
Do you think that the two-factor authentication is also potentially why someone has already mentioned that they have, less leads coming in because people are saying, oh, wait, I can't just drop in whatever the heck I want now. And so is that reducing the number of leads, or we're still seeing around the same numbers?
It does not impact it because we send the two-factor text message after we've captured that information. So if they give us the name, phone number, email address, we capture that as soon as possible. As soon as it's typed in, we take that, we put it in the dashboard, and then we text that or that phone number and say, give us this 4-digit code to verify or to validate the number. And so if they don't validate, then it just doesn't get the blue check mark. So we capture that immediately, so it's completely unimpacted to the conversion rate, which was a really significant point that Dan and I made on the lead capture form and everything. We did not want this two-factor to impact our cost per lead, our lead flow. We only wanted it to be an uplift. And we were pleasantly surprised to see that a certain percentage of people would give us a bad number, which would have remained a bad number without that two-factor, that changed it when we hid some of the information. So we've only seen that percentage of real verified leads trend and tick upwards over time as people are brought back to the sites with listing alerts and things like that. But it's been only positive, just an absolute home run from last year.
Because things like images are locked down for people who are not not locked down, but like blurred out and things like that. So if that person does actually come back to the site, maybe they weren't ready to look, but now they are, or maybe they found a property they like, they'll be prompted to verify again to see all the photos. And that is, we tested a lot of different things. Photos were what people cared about, it seemed. And so but we've done what I said we wouldn't do. We've been 18 minutes into this and we haven't asked Kristine a question. So now it's time for a little thing we like to call
mail time.
Mail time. Your questions submitted before the live cast, not a webinar podcast thing, Dan. You work in marketing. Come on, man. I thought you were going to say something. All right. So we did get some really good questions. Thank you, everybody. And I do see a lot in the chat as well. Kind of that age-old debate between less leads with better quality or more leads. We will talk about that, but I want to get to some of the questions that you guys submitted beforehand because I really appreciate that. Kristine, we've got a list of questions. Oh,
I was going to say real quick, as we do, everybody who's attending, while we've got the questions that were submitted, we're going to go through them. We love for this to be conversational, so definitely jump out, reach out on the chat with any questions that come up as a way of the conversation. If you hear something and it spurs a thought, throw it in there. I know we've got some people from our frontline team and some different folks here at CINC that'll be monitoring that chat, and we'll try and address it as we see them come in here also. So love for it to be a conversation. Talk to us.
James is on the watch. I'm going to ignore everything you say. So here are the beginning questions that we got. This one came from Dana. And Kristine, we've all shared the questions, so if there's one you want to jump in on or pick up, just let me know.
Yeah.
But I'll start at the top from Dana. She was asking for tips and strategies to have meaningful follow-up conversations with leads that she has a good initial conversation with, but then she's having trouble staying connected with them and staying top of mind, and finding that, what is their buying timeline? Like, I guess, how do you follow up with someone that you have a good initial conversation with, but, they're not ready, so you want to keep in contact with them, maybe?
Yeah, I love this question because my market in Southwest Florida, the majority of people are second, third, fourth home buyers. So they don't really need a property here, right? But they want to be here because they have friends or they have family or they were visiting their grandparents or family members for years. So a lot of my follow-up then becomes based on why are they looking in this area? Why do they want to be here, right? So for example, a lot of people are interested in golf, or they're coming down and they want to be close to the beach, or whatever the case may be. They're escaping the winter, right? So if I'm at the beach and there's a beautiful sunset, then I'll take a picture of the sunset and be like, this could be you, right? Or my feet walking in the sand and it's like, don't you wish your toes were in the sand? I bet you've got snow on the ground right now. Something like that. You can text stuff like this. You can email it. You can't actually text pictures. Sorry, I don't believe that we can do that still, but you can, not through the system, right, guys?
I'm not sure. There's
I
someone on
I don't
Frontline.
think so. I think that's one of the things they're doing for this year.
Okay, perfect.
Orlando, save us. Not Purdy.
Not Purdy. Nope.
Yeah. So yes, Veronica,
Not
follow
yet.
up with personal stuff that they like to know about, right? So if you know that they have dogs, follow up about your favorite dog-friendly parks and dog-friendly restaurants and let them know that you can't have dogs on the beaches in Naples, but the closest place would be, Fort Myers or even Bonita, right? So stuff like that. I always go back to the lifestyle side. And really, you guys, nobody wants to be sold, but everybody wants to buy something. So if you're trying to sell them, they're gonna get turned off, right? And you're trying to find ways to connect them. So you really need to get into some of that meat and potatoes on the initial call and then set the appointment, right? That's why we always talk about on the initial call, we go through the opening line, some of the conversational stuff, and then we always guide you guys to set the appointment so that you can dig into some of this stuff and really connect with people, right? That way you have something that you can follow up with them about, not just the property alerts.
Do you ever
Teresa
try
said
to
they
get?
send short videos, and I love that. I send short videos
Yeah.
myself. And if you don't know how to do that, what you can do is upload those short videos into YouTube and mark them unlisted. And then you can actually send that YouTube link through text or email super easily, still using the CINC system, right? Because if it's not in the system, it didn't happen. Like, let's not forget that.
Yeah. Do you try to get leads connected with you on social media or things like that as well, or?
I do because I don't post about real estate hardly at all anymore, right? Most of my content doesn't even talk about real estate for the most part because people are only looking for real estate for a short period of time. And then once they have it, if only all you post is real estate, then they're not interested in following you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I find posting more of my life and what I'm interested in helps me stay connected. And I have people drinking water first now that never drank water before, right? So
Right.
it's like it's little things, and then you're always top of mind without actually having to call or text them.
That's very that makes a lot of sense. I never really
Yeah.
thought about it that way of what you said about people, people are looking for real estate for like a finite period of time, and then you kind of letting them get to know you maybe makes them more likely to call you, Well, and you also do a good job for them, which probably helps as well.
For sure. Yeah. And then it just gives them a reason to maybe stay in touch or continue following up. Because I think that's the number one thing that realtors are the worst at, right? Is following up with people. And the reason that we don't get a lot of referral business, majority of us, I do pretty well with referrals, but the majority of people don't because we're not good at following up. I mean, most
Mhm.
agents won't even call after the first or second try, right? But we know that it takes 12, 15, 20 calls sometimes to get a lead to answer the phone. Which is also, let's go back a little bit. What is a lead?
Oh Lord, we've had this conversation in our tech department before.
Have you? I mean, for us, we call a lead is just a human being. It's a person who searched on the internet and may or may not be interested in purchasing or selling real estate. That's it.
Right,
It's
right,
just a person. So if
right.
we're not thinking of these people as people that we may be able to provide some sort of service to, then we're already missing the point.
Well, that's always something, that we talk about with clients as well. Say your conversion rate dips on your campaign one month. I hear James say all the time, I mean, ultimately we're dealing with people where, they click to the site and something happened and they just didn't sign up, and a similar kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, I hate answering my phone for people that I don't know, but the persistence of calling and giving them that value, not everybody's going to be ready, but some people are,
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, Harry, when you get a call from a number you don't know and then they call you back right away, do you pick up on the second try?
I do not, but I do worry that
What if
maybe
it was
there's
important?
something I should be answering for, but I'd rather just live in fear. I don't like the phone. Me
That
Okay, well,
myself.
this is a horrible, horrible person to be marketing this right now because we want our clients to pick up the phone, right? If these agents don't want to pick up the phone, listen,
And-
it is hard enough for them, right? And I love actually that you just said this, Harry, because to be honest with you, I get this a lot, and I know that John does too. And this is one of those things where the phone gets heavier the less you pick it up,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
And
Ooh.
if
that should
you're
be a
going
T-shirt.
if you're
Yeah.
going into like making calls with the attitude that I don't like getting these calls, nobody's going to answer.
Yeah,
And you don't
right.
have a lead problem, you have a belief problem, an
Yeah,
energy.
yeah. No, I 100% agree. And the thing about me is, I'm only going to answer when I am ready. Like I would rather not answer if you're just, but if it's like, oh, oh, this is the guy who's been texting me, I am ready. I do want to see what my house is worth or something. Then I will answer. And that's where that persistence comes in, because I've sold two houses or one house. I don't even remember. It all blends together. I'm sure it blends together for Dan with multiple houses, but
Yeah.
so handsome. He's got that handsome money. But that's it. I've never really thought about it that way. I am that person that is really hard to get a hold of. I'm probably not going to verify my phone number the first time I go through, but if you keep at me and give me value instead of just selling, I will be ready eventually. What Dwayne
That's
always
such
used
a
to say, people sell a house every 7 years. I was never sure if he made that up or not, but it makes sense.
Yeah, they say that's
such
the
a good point, Kristine. Actually, right before we jumped on here, because we jumped on a couple minutes early, the four of us to talk about preparing and everything. But I got a phone call, spam number. It didn't say spam. It had like something out there. It wasn't just digits. But I didn't know who it was, and I was like, oh, whatever's going on here. I went over, stopped it from vibrating on the desk and making noise, and then it went off again immediately. Like, it's funny that you say this and bring up that example, because I picked it up. It was the exact same thing, and I very much considered answering it. The only reason I didn't was not to dodge the call, is because we were jumping on this meeting, and I was like, oh, I legitimately can't right now. But I was like, you even just said it. I was like, what if it's important? Like, who would call 2 times in a row?
Yeah.
So
Let's call him back.
Yeah,
Call
I
him
totally
back right now. Put it on speaker.
call him back live.
Let's see what's up.
It's called the double tap. We call it the double tap, and it works. So if you're not using a dialer, then it's really easy to just do the double tap. And the second time, usually they will answer, especially like, again, I can only speak for my market here, but we have quite a bit of an older population here. So if they don't answer on the second, they almost always call back and say, hi, I missed a call from this number.
Mm.
And then I can ask them, who is it? And, take the conversation from there.
Now I'm just thinking about my life. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the way I live my
You got-
life. Kristine,
Harry
you're
going deep.
making me want to. I'm going to answer every call. I'm going to do it.
I'm not saying that you should. I'm just saying for our listeners and anyone who's already having call reluctance,
Yeah.
or if you're also the person who doesn't like to pick up the phone, then it makes it difficult for you to pick up the phone to call someone else because you think that you're doing the same thing that they are. But the
Yes.
reality is you're not, right? You're not the home warranty or the sales or the car warranty person that is calling you for the 15th time, or Medicare, and I'm only 40, right? Or whatever it is. But what I will say is that as long as you can get past that, I actually started picking up the phone and it helped with that. Because
Yeah.
you actually hear how bad these salespeople are, and then I end up coaching them on the call.
And then they never
Because the
call
first
back.
thing they say is, "Oh, hi, is this Kristine Dunn? How are you today?" And I'm like, "You said my name and you just asked me how I was." And those are 2 of the 7 things we do not do in our opening line.
Well, I mean, yeah. I'm really just I'm on tilt right now. Let me ask another question.
All right, let's get it.
Let's go.
You better, Harry,
This is-
because I think Kristine might be the first guest we've ever had that has asked you a question, like directly.
I'm doing the questions. I will ask the question.
She threw a curveball
That's a
at Harry.
great one, actually, from Cheryl. What is your opening line?
Oh, I love that question. So join us on Mondays for that, every other Monday for Dialed In podcast. But it is Hey there, this is Kristine from your home search site. I noticed you were looking at some homes over in the Naples area. Are you looking to make a move in the next few months, or are you just browsing? That's
Did you
it.
guys get that? Well, no, that's great. And it's very open-ended, right? I mean, the whole goal of that is to get them kind of talking. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. I'll type it in the chat. Notice there were some things I did. I said the home search site. I didn't say their name, right? I said my name from the home search site. You guys, they're registered on like probably 15 different websites, right?
Yes.
So you just say your name. I didn't say my company's name because it's not relevant right now. It doesn't matter. We don't know what kind of experience they had with other companies. I literally just say my name, the home search site, the area that they've been looking in. I didn't say that I saw them register. I just said I
Mhm.
noticed you were looking at homes because home is where the heart is. We say homes when we're talking to buyers, right? And then we don't ask them a yes or no question. We end with an A or B question. Are you looking to make a move in the next few months, or are you just browsing? We know that they're going to say they're just browsing. And then the next line is the most important. That's perfect. It's exactly what the site is for. While I have you, what's prompted you to browse? That gets you through, and now you can have your beautiful conversation and set the appointment.
That's great.
Thank you, Orlando, for typing that in the chat.
Yeah, and I do think Marco mentioned it's in the success playbook, I believe that Orlando, if you have the link to that, could you post that, please? It's in the help center.
Yeah, do you guys have the
Um,
toolkit also? We have a CINC toolkit that I email people sometimes.
well, I'm not sure. If you have
Okay.
that, you could send it to me and I'll send it to everybody. Thank
Okay.
you, Orlando.
Yep.
Very cool. I have everyone's email address that's on here. I can send that out when I send the replay.
Great.
Let's see. A lot of good questions here. I thought this was really interesting from Chuck. How do you evaluate the leads that will be worth setting reminders for and following up on?
Well, you don't set a reminder for a lead that you've never had a conversation with. So that's the first thing. There's nothing to remind you about because if you're using your filters the way you're supposed to, then they're going to be caught in the filters. So there's no reminders on somebody unless you've had a conversation with them. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I don't cherry pick my leads. I don't go through and pick the highest one or the certain neighborhood or this. I think that when you do that, you're assuming that one lead is better than another, but you really have no idea, right? So for instance, in my market, again, I'm in Southwest Florida, you're not going to probably find a $200,000 condo on the beach, right? Golf frontage, full golf frontage. But I'm not going to call the lead that, or I'm not going to not call the lead that comes in looking for that $200,000 beachfront property. Because what if it's an investor and they're just passing through and they just want to see what can I get for 200? Or what if it's someone who actually is looking for a $2 million condo on the beach, which is possible, and I didn't call them because it was only 200,000, right? So regardless of how you're choosing, I would say don't choose, use your P filters. Those are all the saved filters. And if you don't know what those are, guys, if we have a link that we can share with them on how to follow through with those types of things, but your P filters are in. Well, gosh, if we could do a screen share, that would be easy. But yeah, stick with your filters.
We
All the saved
can.
filters
I
are
mean, if
key.
you have it pulled up and you want to, we can.
I don't, but
That's
it
fine. Well, I'm
it is
sorry.
important.
Yeah. Absolutely. Using the everyone looks in the discount basket. Yes.
Yeah, Richard, but how many of them end up saying, "Oh, I don't like any of these
Right.
discounts. I want the discount, but I don't want the property for the discount," right? And so then we end up spending more than what we even thought we were going to spend because we'd rather just spend a little more to get what we really want.
Turn into a good sale. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I always start, a lot of times I'll start looking at the lowest priced thing and then find something that's, a better price or just, I mean, we see people come in all the time and their price point in the CRM is in the millions, and that's because they looked at the really nice houses, but that doesn't mean they're not actually looking, you know.
Exactly.
Just going back to that home sale that I talked about, their first house they looked at was $700,000, and they ended up buying a $2.2 million house.
Yeah.
So,
What do
There you
you what if the lead only wants to communicate via text? That's what Darlene asked.
I think that you meet them where they are, right? So that's fine initially, but at some point you need to either get on a FaceTime or a Zoom because there's 5 levels of communication, right? So I think it starts with text, or no, it's email is like the worst one. And you want to get into in person, right? So in
Yeah.
person, FaceTime or Zoom, call, text, email. So if those are your 5, you always want to be trying to move them up one if you can. So I will say that I had a woman in my database for over 1,456 days. So for those of you who are like, I don't want to call old leads, keep calling them because this person was in there for almost 1,500 days, never once picked up the phone, but she was still looking. She was opening the property alerts, right? So she kept coming up in my P filters. And I ended up selling her a property, only speaking to her one time on the phone. So for however many years, she didn't respond. And then one day she emailed me and said, I'm going to be in the area on this dates. Are you available to show me in one community? I've already picked out the 4 properties I want to see. And I said yes. And of course, I asked her to send me a copy of her driver's license so that at least I knew she was a real person. This was before forewarn. So I couldn't look her. I mean, I guess I could have looked her up, but I didn't. And we talked one time before she got there. We talked the morning of just to make sure that she wasn't going to be late and she knew where she was going. We made an offer on one of the properties she saw, and then we never talked again. So you're going to get people who just don't want to talk to you. They just want what they want. They want what you can do to help them, and then they just want you to leave them alone. That's okay too. It's not you, it's them.
Yeah, it's me. Do you do a lot of kind of like Zoom presentations and stuff with clients where you are? Do you have a lot of people from like northern states that may want to do a
Yeah,
call like that?
most of my business is from out of state. So I do most of my business on Zoom because it's just easier. It's face to face. If some people don't want to do Zoom, I will do a FaceTime, but I like Zoom particularly because then I can do a screen share and I can share with them some of the properties that I think might fit based on what we talked about. And then what does that do for me? It again shows them that I heard what they were saying, or it shows me that I thought I heard what they were saying and that's not actually what they said. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So now instead of wasting the first day out with them, showing them properties that they don't even like, we're looking at them online together. And I realize that. So then when we're in front of them and we're actually out looking at them in person, then we're only looking at properties that they're definitely interested in.
When you first started, and if you guys want to play Win Dan's Money, we got that in 10 minutes. So we will. It's a 7-question trivia quiz winner. If you win, we had a very close contest last time. Went into overtime. Dan won.
it won't be that
but-
close this time.
But if you win,
Confidence.
you get a $200 ad comp for individual listing ads, which we could talk about in a minute. But if you'd like to come on and play, please be ready for that and stick around. But I did want to ask you, Kristine, because I've been at CINC for over 10 years, and I'm so much more calm and kind of confident now in my job, and I see things that I wouldn't have seen 9 years ago, you know? And I kind of get that same impression when I listen to you talk. Like you do a really good job, it seems, of I think you're so comfortable in the job that you do that you're able to listen to these people. And like for me, that's always been an issue. Or if I'm uncomfortable, it's hard for me to listen as much as just think this is what I'm going to say next, if that makes sense. So I mean, did you have like when you started in real estate, did it take you some time to get to this point where you feel like, you know, I can really focus in and listen Did you have that kind of, or was this just something that was you were meant to do? Does that make sense?
It does. I think you're saying a lot of things, and I have so many things I want to say back, but I know we have limited time here. So here's what I'll say. I've always been in sales. So prior to real estate, I was in medical sales, right? And really all sales is conversation. So I think the biggest thing is always just listening to understand, not to respond. And if you're always thinking about what you're going to respond with, and you're not even going to hear the answer to the question that you just asked,
Mm-hmm.
but the next question comes from the answer that they gave.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing we always say at CINC is to get comfortable being uncomfortable, right? And I always kind of didn't really like that because nobody wants to be uncomfortable because that means you're doing something that you're not, good at, or it's just scary or whatever the case may be. But the reality is that none of this is uncomfortable. It's just unfamiliar.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's just a shift of
Yeah.
like our thought behind the word, like just changing the word just a little bit. Yeah, you're uncomfortable, but it's really only discomfort because it's unfamiliar.
Mm-hmm.
So once you start to practice the script and you get more comfortable with it because you've said it a million times, and no, you don't need anybody to practice the opening line with. You can say it walking your dog, taking a shower, cooking your breakfast, taking your kids to school, waiting in the car line for them after school, whatever it is. Stop with the excuses and just start practicing the opening line. And as long as
Mm-hmm.
you're saying it out loud over and over and over and over again, you're programming it in your mind so that when the phone picks up and someone says hello, that's the first thing that comes out.
And then you can listen.
And then you can listen, right? But if you can't get that first little bit out, then you're probably getting hung up on. You're having those shorter conversations. You're missing the motivation, right? Somebody asked any tips with follow-up with a lead that you were not able to find motivation with on the first call. Hey, I noticed you were still taking a look, you were still looking at some properties, and you can just ask them, ask them again, are you looking to make a move in the next few months, or are you just browsing? And if they say
Mm-hmm.
they're just browsing, great. What prompted you to browse? That's the question. What prompted you to browse? And then it's like, oh, now you can start talking. But the key is to stay in the pocket. When they give you information, hey, you know what? Actually, we're just looking for a second home. Cool. Tell me about your current home. Don't go right into what they're looking for. We need to know what is their current lifestyle and dig into that. Now we're having a conversation that has nothing to do with us selling them, but we're also building rapport so that when it gets to time for to ask them about what do they think they're looking for here, they're ready to talk about it because we've already built rapport. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And I mean, what
Makes a
you're
lot of sense.
saying, one question. Yeah,
Well,
absolutely. Yeah. And what you're saying makes
real quick,
total, I
Harry,
mean, you said it in such a more eloquent way than my rambling statement. But yeah, it's a lack of confidence, and I didn't, and I don't know that I could practice in different things, but as time over, as I practiced over time and read more things and learned more things and screwed up, I got better at it and I'm more comfortable at it. And now I can really listen and identify and come up with ideas and solutions when we talk about ad campaigns.
I
And I
love
feel
that
like
you
you can do that.
mentioned I love that you mentioned the confidence piece
Mhm.
because in case anybody missed this, the confidence didn't come because he just made the call and just decided one day he wasn't going to be uncomfortable anymore. The confidence came because he was practicing, because he was reading up on it, because he was doing the little things every day when no one was looking, right? Doing the little reps, drinking the water, getting up without hitting Zoom, right? Whatever it is, like when you make little promises to yourself and you keep them, that's what builds your confidence. So yes, the practice is important, but you can't just say, "Oh, I'm going to practice and I'm going to do this every day," and then not do it because then that actually takes away from your confidence.
Mm-hmm. When you take that is that is true. And then no, I'm telling you, you got my head swimming over there.
That was
I'm
worth the
done.
price of admission right there.
I'm done. No, all right. We got one more question that I do want to get to from Paige, and I think Paige is on as well. but I think she's just starting out with CINC, or maybe just a few months in. Um, she asked for tips for a small team of 2 just getting started with CINC, best advice for converting leads that show promise but seem to tell a different story over the phone.
I think that just goes back to conversations, right? And I would ask her, how does the lead seem promising based on what you're looking at in the database, right? And I'm asking that question because you're making an assumption based on maybe their activity or their price point or whatever the case may be. I would always, again, encourage not to make assumptions about the leads being good, bad, right, wrong, whatever it is. Just think of them all equally the same. Pick up the phone and call them all equally the same and use your P filters. That you will not ever let anybody slip through the cracks as long as you are using your P filters. Like, don't overcomplicate it. I know a lot of the guys would say to use the pond. Even sometimes for a single. Right now, I don't have anybody on my team because most people don't work in the same way that I do. And so I found myself just saying, forget it, just forget it. I'll just do it myself. I'm not saying that that's the right thing to do, but if you do have a good partner, having a pond is really helpful because then if your pond is like mine, it's called Alex, then everything always goes in there. So it's not getting emails from different people all the time. It's only getting them from there. And then you both have access to the pond, then you can call from there. And I think I saw somebody mention something earlier about Alex having a good conversation and then them jumping in and then the person was like really turned off. Be careful with that, you guys, and just think about if you were having a good conversation with somebody and then their boss barged in the door and was like, "Hey, let me talk to you right now. I got you." It's like, "No, I'm good with your sales guy right now. Like he's doing a good job." So I would let the conversation kind of play through, and this is just only my own personal opinion here, and then reach out later saying, "Hey, Alex is, my associate or my whatever you want to call him or her or however you refer to them." But don't interrupt them right in the middle of it because that can, like you said, what you experience, it can be disarming.
There is a lot of, yeah. And so if you guys don't know, Kristine does this call is it bi-weekly or bi-monthly? That's always such a weird word. That can mean twice a month or every
It's
other month or
bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly.
bi-weekly,
And
twice
and
a
once
week.
you register
Once.
for it, you'll get the reminder every time it's coming. So once you put it on your calendar, it will forever be on your calendar unless you remove it.
Please take advantage of the training opportunities like Kristine doing this call bi-weekly, every other week. I mean, that's one of the things that really sets CINC apart is you have access to this community. Join the Facebook group of owners, ask questions, participate in discussions, give feedback there because we do look at it and we do use that. Join Kristine, come to online conversion day, come to CINC. It is a game changer. It really is. And, I'm so impressed with Kristine today, as I always am. I remembered the thing I was going to say on the last question before you got me shook. But it was just about, improving on the calls. Another part of that was my mindset. And, for me, it was my job. And I felt like I had to do it. There wasn't an option of not doing it. It's just, I have to do this. And I did it and it made me better. So going back to mindset, I think that is important.
I'm going to throw you one more time because you said you had to do it, right? You had to do it because it was your job. Somebody was literally paying you a salary to do this, right?
Yes.
But for our listeners, they don't have to do this, right? They don't have to use the sync system. And I bring this up because what we have to do is a chore. But what we get to do is a gift. They've chosen to use this database. We are the best in the business. I've used all of them. None of them are as good. Okay. I'm just going to tell you, I'll save you all the trouble right now. None of them are as good. None of them have the training. None of them have, this kind of interaction. Nobody has a 3-day in-person training that will literally change your life. But us, we are the only ones that do a lot of the things that we do. And that's why we've been in business in the number one spot for a long time. But I think understanding that they are the CEO of their businesses and that they don't have to be here using this, but they get to be. And what we get to do is a gift. So we are a gift to these people. You guys are a gift to us, providing us all these leads so that we can provide for our families and connect with other people. But we're the gift for the person who's looking because
Mhm.
a lot of us are like, people can only hear things from certain people, right? I could say the same thing to Harry that I've said to James 10 times, but for some reason it hits different with Harry. It's the same thing in real estate. You might have to call 15 to 20 times to get somebody to answer, but when they finally do, they're ready to talk, they're ready to listen. So just, I want to encourage everybody to keep picking up the phone. I promise it's worth it.
Absolutely.
And I feel like this conversation could go for like 3 hours. We got to be super careful.
I
There's been so
know,
many times
but
I've wanted to jump in. I've had a thought or a comment, and I'm like, "No, man, we're already going to be long." Like, let Kristine go. We know why
we do
everybody's
need.
here, who they're here to hear from. Um, Hugely valuable, Kristine. Thank you
I
so
guess
much.
you just,
So much.
I guess you guys are just gonna have to make me a regular on the show.
All right.
Yeah.
Be careful what you wish for. I don't know who's coming on January yet, so just be careful. This could be your life. I do want to address Ishmael. He just basically asked, why doesn't Sync vet leads to get more qualified leads like Zillow, since most leads are not as qualified? It's a different strategy. If you go on Zillow, you're never forced to sign up. When you do, at least in the past, that was given to different realtors, but you're going to get fewer leads and they're going to be more expensive. But yeah, they're going to be more ready to go because they're on a site looking at properties and not being forced to sign up. With Sync, the idea is to capture them before they get to that point. So, not everybody is going to be ready to buy. You're catching them earlier in the process, but that's why we're investing heavily in AI tools and things like that to help you identify those people before it even gets to Zillow. That's the goal.
Yeah,
and Richard, you do that for less expensive. But yeah, you're going to get more people that are not ready to convert at this point. Absolutely.
Yeah, and 2 points there. Richard's got a good point that people use their own CRM. People want to control their lead flow and be their own brand because they don't. In a lot of cases, people are looking to reduce their reliance on Zillow, and the reason that our leads are generated is because they're so much earlier in the decision-making process. And that's why a Zillow lead will cost, depending on the market, 200 times what a Sync lead will cost, right? Because Kristine finds a lead that's been in her dashboard that she's been nurturing with lead alerts or listing alerts and all kinds of stuff like that. 4 years later, she calls up, one phone call, let's meet, home sold, right? But it's about that nurture and remembering that Sync is a system, and we talk about the system so much. And yes, it's lead generation. Yes, it's building the brand, and it's everything online, and it's the dashboard, and it's the communications. But I love the online conversion days. I love these conversations. I love the dialed in, the Sync universities. Like that training is also part of that Sync system, because the number one thing that we want is for our clients to be successful. So it is training in real estate. It is training in communication, in mindset, and yes, in how to use our dashboard.
All right. We don't have any volunteers yet, so we'll see.
Oh, no.
Because it's time for.
Here we go.
Yeah. Win Dan's Money, our game that is totally not stolen from another radio show here in Atlanta. If you're in Atlanta, you will totally never know what this was stolen from. But this is a 7-question, 1 minute long trivia quiz with 2 categories based on, well, one is actually based on a love of Dan, and one is based on our guest. So you'll have 1 minute to answer the 7 questions James will give you. Orlando, shut up, Orlando. That's right.
Ouch, Orlando, calling you out.
Come on. Anyway,
you got 4 minutes. for a
No, it's going to take longer than 4
60
minutes. We've got, I'm going to have to cut out the 10 least impactful minutes of this to put it up. So I can't wait for that. But yeah, 7-question quiz. You've got 1 minute to answer the questions. We will send Dan out of the room, and then we will bring him back after you are done. Whoever answers the most questions is the winner. The winner, if it is you, gets Dan's money, which is $200 next month towards either team listing ads to promote all of your listings or individual listing ads to promote a specific listing you would like to get more eyeballs on.
That's our newest ad type.
So we do have
We just
Marco.
launched it.
We have Marco, who is going
Yeah.
to come on. Assuming I can remember
How to do it. Hey, there was a question that Marco asked too. Can I answer that really quick while you're trying to figure out how to get him on?
Sure, yeah.
Is it
Oh, I got
inappropriate? I know we're about to play a game, but he asked a really good question and said, you know, he understands that leads take a long time and traction to get people, but he has 79 leads and probably 3 of those are good as buyers. And I just want to say that that's actually really good numbers. Believe it
Yeah.
or not, it's only like a 1 to 2% conversion rate. I think, and guys, if I'm wrong, please correct me. When I first started, it was about a 4% conversion rate, and that was like in 2018, I think, 2017, 2018. So if you're getting, you know, a 1 to 3% conversion rate, you're doing good. That means if you get 3 buyers out of 79 leads, are actually even better, right? So if you think of every 100, if you get 1, 2, maybe 3, then you're doing well. And if you keep doing it and your follow-up is good, you can obviously increase that percentage. But I had it up to 9% at one point. But again, I like to use a lot of video, and I'm really good
Nice.
at the follow-up. So you just got to figure out what works for you. But I hope that answers your question, Marco.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we look at data in terms of cohorts. So the longer a lead's in the system, the better chance it has to convert. So over time, it should snowball. I'm not sure how long you've been there, Marco, but I could ask you right now. Because a new part. Hey, Marco, can you hear us? You're muted.
Oh, you're
Yeah, I
muted.
can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
All
awesome.
right. So we got Marco here who's going to play Win Dan's Money with us. Thank you for joining in, Marco. Can you tell us where you're from, how long you've been with CINC?
Yeah, I'm in Redondo Beach, California office with Vista Sotheby's International.
All right.
One of the affiliates there, yeah. And I started CINC. God, when did I start? It's only been a few months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, fantastic.
So yeah, I'm loving
Thanks
it.
for joining us. Welcome out.
Thank you. Appreciate
All
it.
right. So the first thing we have to do is we have to send Dan away.
Bye, Dan.
And I remember how to do it. Hopefully I can bring him back because this game is not going to be fun. Marco, you'll just
You
win.
put me in the waiting room.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to.
Yeah.
See you. All right.
All
So
right.
Dan is gone. I'll do the timing, James. Your topics
First
today. So you choose one topic,
Categories.
your category. You want to go, James? You want to do it?
Yeah, we'll say so. Marco, the categories to choose from are Allens or Duns.
I'm sorry, Allens or Duns?
Yes.
There's not a lot of information in that.
I'll do the Duns.
Oh,
Duns,
done.
good choice.
All right.
I was hoping we'd
topical.
go Duns by way of
All
our
right.
guest. Perfect.
So
So
I'm going to
Harry's
time
going to
it
have a
for
timer.
minute. Yep. I'll let
gonna
you
have-
know when we're at 30 seconds, and I'll let you know when we're at 10 seconds, and then I'll let you know when
Okay.
we're done.
Okay.
And I will start the timer after James finishes the first question.
60 seconds on the clock. There will be 4 questions related to the category of Duns, and there will be 3 general questions. If there's a tie, we have a tiebreaker question that'll come up later, but that's after Dan's had his round. So
Okay.
60 seconds. Harry will start when I finish reading the first question. Marco, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, for Duns. This famous... Oh, before we get started, Harry, hold on. If you don't know the answer to a question, you can say pass, right?
Okay.
Keep in mind,
And
60
we'll come back
seconds.
around
We're gonna be
to it.
moving quick.
Sounds good.
If you
All right,
don't
let's
know,
go.
definitely pass.
Okay.
All right, first question. This famous Dunn and ex-NFL running back played for the
jeez.
Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Pass. I'm terrible at football.
Named after another famous Dunn, this business provides business credit reports and is widely recognized for their 9-digit identifier for businesses.
Dun and Bradstreet.
Get down, turn around, go to town. This band is credited with writing Boot, Scoot, and Boogie in the 1990s.
Let's go. Pass.
Lloyd Christmas and Harry Dunn traveled to Aspen, Colorado in this 1994 comedy.
45 seconds.
1994 comedy. Pass.
Lloyd, general questions. Mix blue and red to create this color.
Blue and red's
10
purple.
seconds.
This is the only fruit that has seeds on the outside.
Seeds on the outside. Jeez.
Strawberry.
All right, we'll count it. That's a minute.
Pass. Sorry.
Okay, is that the strawberry? We'll give you the
Oh, good job.
Marco.
What was
Good
it?
job, Marco.
strawberry.
Oh, strawberries.
And how
Strawberries
did
have
you
seeds
not
on the
know
outside.
Brooks and Dunn, brother? Come on, it was a Dunn question. He set you up. Brooks and Dunn sings Boot Scoot and Boogie.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
Let's see how Dan does here. Marco, I'm going to mute you. Thank you.
That was
Thank
awesome.
you.
We'll bring
That was
Marco,
Dan
stick
back.
around in case we have a tiebreaker question.
Okay.
Oh,
Stay
yeah.
with us.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Marco.
You.
Oh, there's some tension there, right?
Yes. It took everything in me not to say the first one.
All right, let's bring Dan back. Oh, I got
All
to
right,
pin you
Dan.
again.
Oh, wait. Make sure he can't see the chat.
Oh, yeah.
Look
Don't
at the chat, Dan. Don't cheat.
Don't look at the chat.
Oh, yeah,
Peter.
Dan, keep the chat away. Oh, I didn't realize people were throwing in answers.
I know.
Dan?
Don't cheat.
Dan, your opponent is
Oh, he's
Marco.
looking at him.
I'm not.
Marco.
Oh, I'm not looking at him.
Dan, your opponent is Marco from Redondo Beach.
Can I look? Can I look down at the chat?
No.
Close
No.
it. Close your eyes, Dan.
You're going to have to ask him different questions.
No.
Oh, we can't do that. That's pandemonium.
Okay. I tried
All
to
right,
move
Dan.
some of
Can you
them.
hide
I
the
tried to
chat?
push it up the list a little.
All right,
All right,
Dan.
Dan, are we ready?
You've got 1 minute. Your topic is Duns.
Ooh. Okay.
Duns. All right, I
Are you
will
ready,
start
Dan?
the timer. I'll tell you when we're at 30 and 10. The timer starts
Here, give us
after
the
James
countdown.
finishes the first question.
Keep in mind that you can pass if you do not know the answer. Dan, are you ready?
I'm ready, James.
Harry, you ready with the clock?
So ready.
Let's get started. Dan, this famous Dunn, an ex-NFL running back, played for the Atlanta Falcons and
Warwick
the Tampa
Dunn.
Bay Buccaneers. Named after another famous Dunn, this business provides business credit reports and is widely
Dun and Bradstreet.
recognized. Get down, turn around, go to town. This band is credited with writing Boot, Scoot, and Boogie in the 1990s.
Brooks and Dunn.
Ooh.
Lloyd Christmas and Harry Dunn traveled to Aspen, Colorado in this 1994
Dumb and Dumber.
comedy. General questions. Mix blue and red to create this color.
Blue and red is purple.
30 seconds.
This is the only fruit that has its seeds on the outside.
Strawberry.
And according to the Fahrenheit scale, water freezes at this temperature.
212. No, freezes 32. Oh.
No. No. But that was impressive.
That was a good
I
run.
think he cheated. He definitely cheated. He read all the answers.
No.
I-
How dare you? No.
Wow. That was
You gotta
amazing.
respect
That
the
was a much
game.
better
You
show.
can't-
So, Dan, you ended up with 6 out of 7. Good job. Listening skills at the end
Thank you.
trailed off. Marco, he got slightly less than 6. And so, unfortunately, Dan Lott is today's winner again, and the money stays
Undefeated.
with Dan.
Undefeated.
Somebody give Dan a listing to market because I wanna, market a listing. So anyway,
Marco, thanks so much for playing with us. Thanks so much for hanging out. It was
Yeah,
a
My
good
thank you,
time.
pleasure.
Marco.
Thank
That was a
you.
lot of fun.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with CINC. Thanks to everybody. All right, so very stupid music because we won again, and it's time for us to leave. Thank you everybody for being here today. Thank you also for playing Win Dan's Money. Kristine, a wealth of knowledge, and I'm really going to question the way I live my life after today. So thank you so much for bringing on my midlife crisis. I appreciate that. Thanks again. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, James. If you guys don't know what CINC is, as Dan said, we are the #1 real estate lead provider and conversion engine. Do we still go with that? Kaizen.
Yeah.
Kaizen, Dan. Kaizen. Be sure to check that out. If you need a real estate CRM, banking in Mexico, or HOA software, just go to Google, type in CINC.
CINCpro.com.
CINCpro.com is the correct one to go to. Thanks again, everybody. We love you. If you love the show, tell your friends. And if you don't, just keep it to yourself. Have a great month. Happy holidays.